Maria Curie Skłodowska was the first woman to get a Nobel Prize. She didn't stop at one, she got two. Without this woman, you would not be able to check if your leg or hand is broken because the radioactive chemical used in x-rays was discovered by her. But my quest isn't about science or x-rays, it's about food. Did you know this extremely intelligent woman only ate 2 eggs and a slice of bread every day ever since she moved out? Because of this, she started fainting. And her sister, who was a doctor, had to teach her how to cook meals that either took really long so she could work while they were cooking, or really short so that it wouldn't interrupt her research. Maria Curie is from Poland, just like me. But unlike her, I love to cook. I always loved food. It was not only eating that I liked about food. I loved cooking just as much. Just look at that little me already cooking. What is food to you? What does the word mean? What do you think about when I say this word? Do you think of the last thing you ate, your favorite meal, a specific flavor, your family, or maybe a garden where it was grown? Or was it something else you thought of? Earlier this year, in literacy, we did a descriptive writing exercise about food. We had to describe what we saw, what we smelled, what we tasted, and what we touched about our favorite meals. And I wrote, I see my comfort food, which is also my national dish. I see my grandma who cooked the meal at the table, smiling at me while I enjoy my meal. I taste the potatoes and the fresh dill. I smell the breadcrumbs and the fresh meat and other veggies placed on the plate. I taste the veggies, the spices, and the meat that my grandpa helped prepare, and I taste the love put in the dish. I touch the silverware as I enjoy my meal. Can you guys guess what this food is? This is a kotlety schabowe, which is one of Poland's national. This dish is very similar to a chicken schnitzel. This practice was not only about the meal being absolutely delicious, it was also about connecting with family and other things connected to your favorite food. According to Action Against Hunger, 828 million people don't have the same joy of eating nutritious meals as we do, let alone connecting over them. From learning this, I knew what I could do to help. And what I decided to do? Let's find out. As I mentioned before, I was born in Poland, but now I live in Bali. I moved to Purninan, Canggu 2 years ago. Purninan is a small village in Canggu right next to the beach. One of the things I love most about Purninan is the food scene. I've seen a number of restaurants open ever since we moved here, some of which my family was the first to try. These restaurants made my family view food in a way of community. The variety of people joining together over a warm meal that the staff has prepared. One of these restaurants, Rise Cafe, shared a story with me that really struck my heart, and I'd like to share it with you. We were about to open Rise when the global pandemic hit. The ensuing months were an incredibly difficult time for the Bali's people and economy, also leaving our dreams shattered. In April 2021, without the promise of making payroll due to the pandemic, and with no safety net to fall back on, our team came together and made the decision to open in spite of much uncertainty. And the rest is history. You can't go to Rise without running into someone from green school. Rise offers a variety of Indian and India fusion dishes, but my 2 personal favorites have got to be the dosa and the rice of Dragon Bowl. Me and my family have been coming to Rise ever since they opened. Rise is a staple restaurant in the Purninan community. Loads of restaurants in Bali had to close down due to the lockdown, some of which had to close down due to the lack of customers. According to the Bali Sun, back in 2021, over 90% of restaurants in Ubud had to close down due to the lack of customers. That is a lot. For my quest, I decided to create a cookbook. I wanted this cookbook to consist of recipes from different restaurants that I am personally very close with, so that they could share their stories and recipes, giving a taste of their restaurant. I contacted 11 restaurant owners and chefs and asked for 2 of the recipes. Well, to be honest, I didn't even expect them to respond, yet I was surprised by the fact that 10 of them responded and 8 of them sent me 1 or 2 of their recipes. My cookbook aims to support these lovely restaurants, which have been brave enough to open and stay open throughout those tough times. and have become a huge part of our lives. Bali's economy is mainly based on tourists. So while exploring the island and the restaurants, they can reach for my book and never forget their experience. My project consists of multiple different stages, but instead of me telling you the entire step-by-step of my project, I will tell you some of my highlights, starting with messaging all these restaurants. And I've got to say that I was extremely happy seeing my first reply from Rice Cafe with 2 of their very delicious meals from their restaurant. After that, the recipes started pouring in. G, Woods, Roots, Sugiro, Zali, Village, and Mostly followed Rise and gave me recipes representing different flavors from the restaurant. I cannot express the joy I felt after getting all these recipes. Do you guys want to know the secret to Sugi's delicious rice balls? Well, you might want to check out my book. Next, while putting together all the files with my mom for my cookbook, we told my auntie, who was a graphic designer, about my project, and she was totally on board to help me out with designing my book. And that was so much help. Finally, the best feeling of all has got to be when I saw my book put together. All the time and hard work was finally done. If you're interested in buying my book, say hi to me, and I will be right in front of the green warung right here, in front of the sun cap. Similarly to my friend Kate, all the profit will be going to Prasad Kitchen. If you didn't hear, Prasad Kitchen is a non-profit organization that gives out meals, nasi bungkus meals, to the people in need. Unfortunately, Prasad had to close due to the lack of funds. They are hoping to reopen as soon as they have enough funds to do so. Therefore, I am trying to help before it is too late. I hope you guys could help by buying my book or just simply donating to Prasad Kitchen. Throughout selling, for the past 2 days, at Spirit Friday and Woe Festival, I have managed to collect 4.6 million and donated it to Prasad Kitchen. Throughout my quest, I have learned multiple things, like to never give up because I will never get where I am right now with my original mindset. I also learned that I won't get far without asking for help. Now, dear audience, take a deep breath before I start my enormous list of the people I'd like to thank, since there were so many people helping me with my project. Now let's get started. I would like to thank Damini and Thor from Rise for being the first people to respond to me, Lucian and Stephanie from G, Dodo and Josh from Woods, Nicholas from Roots, Insuk and Tim from Sugirl for being the easiest to work with, Joseph and Riza from Zali, Nassim and Harry from Village, and finally, Pierre, Simon, Chef Made, and Chef Nathan for sharing their recipes with me. I'd also like to thank my mentors, Ibu Ida, Ibu Angie, and Ibu Laura. My amazing graphic designer, Effie Bojitska, my mom for always helping me with my quest work, and my dad for always encouraging me to spend my free time on quest. I'd also like to thank my amazing sister, aka my marketing manager, for helping me sell my books with her friends. And finally, my friends, aka Mila, Mark, Rosalie, and Simon, for helping me with emotional support. I really hope that you will now have a deeper consciousness of the restaurants you go to. I love food and the people who take the time to create it. So the next time your grandparents or parents prepare a dish for you, make sure to express your gratitude for what they created. Did you guys fall asleep yet? Well, I really hope you didn't, because you would miss out on a lot of great presentations created with passion and dedication by my classmates. Now, I would like to thank you guys for listening to my speech, and remember, if you have no fear of perfection, you'll never reach it. Maria Skodowska-Curie.